guys, so today is the first video in this series and it is Makeup 101. I'm decided to do this series because when I started doing makeup I had no idea what these terms were and how to do things. I did not have a mom or someone to actually show me how to do it, and I learned from watching YouTube videos, but a lot of times you hear jargon that you're not used to. So I wanted to familiarize you guys with the different vocabulary or terms and on specific ways of doing basic makeup. So the first in this series is going to be foundation and concealer. So I hope you enjoy these videos and let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you ever want to do after you've cleansed and moisturized your face is to use a primer. A facial primer is good because it will not only make your makeup last longer, it will give you a really great foundation for the liquid foundation or the powder foundation to go on, so that it doesn't sink into your pores, and it will also fill in your pores and any maybe fine lines you may have, and it won't allow the foundation to settle into those, so your face will look a lot smoother, which is a great thing. So you can use any foundation. Everybody has different preferences, and you just put a little bit on your fingers and just go all over your face. If you notice me looking down at any point, I have a mirror right underneath the camera. And I like to put a little primer on my neck just because I also put foundation there and product, and I want all that to stay nice and stay forever. Or not forever, but you know what I mean. Stay for a long time. Stay for as long as I want it to stay. Okay, so now that our primer is on, we have foundation. And I prefer liquid foundation. If you prefer powder foundation, the application for that is completely different, and that would be a different video. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. So this is liquid foundation, and there are two major ways you can apply this. You can either use, well, three. You can use your fingers, you can use a sponge, or you can use a brush. I'm going to show you two different ways. I'm going to show you the fingers and the brush, and I'm going to do it on one half of my face one way and the other half the other way, just so you can kind of see the difference at the end. The reason I'm not doing a sponge application is because I'm not a big fan of that. That is entirely a preference thing. I really just usually use my fingers because it's fast, it's quick, it's easy. It's the best tool that you have are your fingers. I like to use brushes when I want more of a flawless look. Okay, so you're going to put some of the foundation on your fingers. We're going to do our finger side first, and just put a little dot it all over, and then from the inside out you're going to blend it. You also are going to want some on your neck and on your ears, because you don't want a color, if it's not perfectly your skin color, you don't want to see a line here and your ears suddenly be another color, or a lot of times your ears turn red just from the heat and from moving around. So you want to kind of neutralize that so you don't have these big red ears or a really white or dark neck. So see how fast that was with just my fingers? Well, let's do the other side and do using a brush. There are lots of different brushes you can use. The most common is one like this where it's flat, and it is just a foundation brush, and it is flat, and you can just use it to get into all the corners and things like that. My favorite, or my preference, is a flat round brush like this, and it is dense but soft, and you will see that it gives you kind of an airbrush look. So again, I'm just going to put some foundation on my fingers and dot it all over my face and neck. Then, using my brush, I'm going to do circular motions starting from the inside and working my way out. Okay, so you may notice that it does take just a little bit longer, but it does give you a more polished look. I hope you can see it. Because I can see it in the mirror that this side kind of looks brighter and more even than this side. Okay, next is concealer, under eye concealer, and blemishes. For under eye concealer, there's tons of them. The one I like are just the ones that you can get at the drugstore and you just kind of sweep over. And then for concealer for your pimples and stuff, I just use a spot one. So, when using, again, you can use your fingers for this or a brush, and I will show you both. So, finger side. Just take some of the product, sweep it under your eye. Make sure you get it into this little corner to get rid of the dark circles. And then just tap gently with your finger. Some people like to use their ring finger, but I prefer my middle one. I'm not trying to flip you guys off, but I prefer my middle one because I have a little more control with that one. And there you go. Under eye concealer is done. The other side, do the same thing, like so. And then you can use a domed brush like this. It's kind of tapered and it's round, and it's really good for getting, even using foundation and just getting into those little crevices. And then you just do the same thing. Okay, so how do we do, say I have a pimple. I don't have any right now, so we're just gonna, or redness. Let's do the, so you're going to put it, I have a dark spot here, just put it on, and then use your finger. If it was a pimple, you would just go around the outside of the pimple to tapping lightly, because you don't want to actually tap too much on top of the pimple because you're just going to take away product. So you just kind of tap around with your finger, like so, and then it's gone. You can also do this with a brush, let's say right here. You probably cannot even see that. Use that same taper brush. So as you can see, a lot of times with the brush techniques, it's the same with your fingers. You're basically just tapping around or lightly brushing, hence the word brush. Okay, so now that we have all that, we need to set our foundation. Why do we set our foundation? Well, it's liquid, and when we sweat, it will start to come off. So we need a barrier. On the other side, we have a barrier on from our face to the foundation, but we need a barrier from the foundation to the outside world and the rest of our makeup, because we also don't want, once we put other layers like our contouring and things like that, you don't want those to stick too hard. You want to be able to blend them. So we set them, and you can use a translucent powder, or if you want a little more coverage, you can use a powder, pressed powder. You can use loose also. And then I just like to use a really, really fluffy big brush. And I just take some of it. And this trick I learned at IMATS, and instead of brushing like most people do, you need to roll it gently into your skin. So you're rolling it into your skin to make sure that it is actually going in, and it helps it melt into your skin a lot better and faster. Make sure you avoid the eye area, because you don't want such a heavy powder on that area of your face. You'll want to use something else, which I'll show you. And don't forget your ears and your neck. For your eyes, you're just going to use a light powder, like an HT powder, or there are plenty out there that are made for the under eye area. I know that Benefit makes one. This one I'm using is just an HD powder, so it's really, really light. And then I'm going to go and use that concealer or that tapered brush again and put a little bit on, and then just lightly put it underneath. This will also help brighten the area a little bit also. Okay, so that's your foundation. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave your comment, leave it down in the bottom bar, and I will see you in the next video, which will be contouring, highlighting, and blush. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.